Breaking right now, the FBI scheduling interviews with 6 Democrat lawmakers who encouraged military members to refuse what they called illegal orders from the president. Justice correspondent David Spun is following this live from Washington for us. Hi, David.
Well, hi, Sandra. Investigators from the FBI and DOJ, FBI is part of DOJ, are making this outreach to staff members on Capitol Hill to set up interviews with members of Congress who appeared in this controversial video. There are 6 of them. Now, these are the members. 2 of them are U.S. senators on the left, the 4 on the right, all representatives, all Democrats, all of them appearing in this video, urging those serving to ignore military orders if they deem them unlawful. A video set off a storm not only on Capitol Hill, but made its way to the Oval Office. President Trump calling for prosecutions of these members of Congress. The DOJ not commenting on any potential probe here. However, interviews with these members expected to take place in short order after the holiday. In the meantime, separately from any DOJ questioning, Senator Mark Kelly is being investigated by the Pentagon. The senator from Arizona and
Okay, welcome to the video, guys. As you've heard, there's 6 Democrats that are going to be interviewed by the FBI within the Department of Justice to see, why they were, in a controversial video telling members of the military who are serving that if they don't want to or feel like they don't need to follow President Trump's orders, then they don't have to. And with that being said, man, I feel like we're definitely going down a very, very slippery slope when you have individuals telling, people within our military to radicalize and not listen to their commander in chief. That's exactly what the president's title is to the military. He's the commander in chief, and if he says, this is what we're going to do, then our service members, they should be willing and ready to go do it, because that's how it's always has been. It's kind of strange that at a time like this where he's preparing to do operations in Venezuela, we have a lot of ships out there in the Caribbean in preparation for anything. We still have, issues going on with Russia, and we still have issues going on with like North Korea and China and Iran, and it's just issues. We have issues on all fronts, really. So even down to like, Mexico and cartels and stuff like that. Like, it's just always something, or always some involvement that our military is in. And, for someone that holds a seat, within the government, they shouldn't be telling our service members, not to obey, their commander in chief. Because like I said, that's like some radical ideology. And we definitely we really don't have no room for anything like that, especially with what's going on. So apparently they're going to be interviewed after the holidays, so they do have time to get their stuff together as far as what they're going to say in the interview. I'm sure it's going to be very, very thorough interview, because these type of things can be looked at as an act of treason and stuff like that. And let's get a little bit more information.
husband of former Congresswoman Gabby Giffords of former Congress Arizona and husband of 40 is being investigated by the Pentagon. The senator from Arizona and husband of former Congresswoman Gabby Giffords is a retired naval officer, and he's the subject to the Uniform Code of Military Justice. Now, even though he's retired, the Pentagon yesterday announced Kelly could be called back into active duty to face punishment regarding his retirement and rank. Here he is last night reacting to all of this.
Let me start by saying I never questioned any order, and you're required to follow all legal orders. You're also required not to follow illegal ones. And I think most people can figure out just take some common sense in what would be an illegal order. But I think it's important for people to know that they need to be able to stand up and speak out.
Senator.
Which I'm all for, people being able to stand up and speak out. But we're specifically talking about, military personnel. And of course, the president shouldn't put them in any type of position or be giving them demands or commands that are illegal. We want to stay within the ramifications of the law and, how it's put forth as far as like military procedures. You don't want to start stepping outside of that. So, and we do know that, the military is our military. They have to go and do a tough job. When there's a war, they're on the front lines, they're fighting that war, whether it's on land or sea or by air, so um, they have a very, very tough job, but we have all bases covered as far as our military is concerned. And I'm definitely very proud of the military and thankful to everyone who serves within this ranks. And like I said, we don't want to get to the point where we're trying to put seeds into people's heads, um, to where, when it's order given and it could be a very important order, you'll have people who don't want to do that, which puts like the rest of the military in danger. When you have when you're not really, one sound, one body, one sound. So we'll see what becomes of this. It's gonna take some time to get another update because, like they were saying, they're not going to interview these 6 Democrats till after the holidays, and I'll have to definitely go and take a look at the video and try to analyze it a little bit more to kind of get a better sense of exactly what that senator was saying. I'm gonna let the video finish out.
Slotkin is a former CIA analyst, and the other 4 did not serve as long as Kelly in the military and are not subject to being called back into active duty to face any military justice. Sandra?
Yeah, and I think that's
Okay, yeah. So that Senator Kelly seems like he was he served. I'm thinking they said Navy if I'm not mistaken, and they were just saying the uniform code what could bring him back into action in order for him to serve some type of military justice, which never know what that definitely could be. But again, if he was leading the conversation or leading within this video, um, you know, all things are on the table as far as punishment wise. And like I said, they're going to do a very, very thorough investigation into these 6 Democrats. I'm sure they're already gathering information and, keeping an eye on them and surveilling them because, say, a lot of, you can get to a point to where you start seeing stuff, and as I was saying earlier, it could lead to treason. It could lead to certain troops abandoning their job, and at the end of the day, that weakens our military. So, we'll see what becomes of this. And once I get an update, I'll definitely, come and do a reaction to it, give my opinion on what's going on. Again, if you like my content, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And this is Justin Paul. Peace.